Honorable member, any supplementary question?
Sometimes even within the public service. Mr. Speaker, the question is, with the advent of the National Identification Authority, the Ghana card system, linked to our tax identification numbers, is it still possible that somebody can retire, get into another public office, and will not be detected? Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I'm sure the person, it will be detected. If the person retires from the police service and becomes a member of parliament, it will be noted. But what we are saying is that in order to protect the public finances, we cannot continue to pay pensions for people who decide to retire voluntarily at an earlier age. Some retire at 40, at 45. And even if they are not doing public businesses, they may be doing some private businesses and earning income. They are actively engaged in doing other things. And so we, in the face of fairness, is that you start getting the monthly payments when you attain the age of 60. As for your gratuity, you will get it immediately, but you begin to get the monthly payment only after attaining the age of 60. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Peter Nuchu.
Mr. Speaker, page 49 of the order paper. In your answer again, Mr. Minister, I quote, "There are, however, carefully defined exceptions. Officers who are released from service on medical grounds or under other exceptional circumstances may have their cases considered administratively on their individual merits." This is quite encouraging. The question is, do we have defined administrative regulations to ensure that this doesn't become capricious? Do we have defined administrative regulation to ensure that this is followed to the core? Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, and we have evidence of some security officers who, on the peculiarity of their issues, have been granted this, and their monthly payments are paid. Some on medical grounds, some even suffered in line of duty, and as a result, the state has to continue to cater for them. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes, last one.
Mr. Speaker, the men and women in uniform listening to this answer will be excited, and we want to thank the Honourable Minister. We are grateful.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honourable Member for Kwesi Efia.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, from the Minister's response towards the tail end at page 50, where the Minister said payment will only commence when officers attain the age of 60, except otherwise defined in exceptional circumstances. The Constitution, Article 199, 1 and 2, speaks explicitly on the retirement age between 60 and those who can retire at 45. So this administrative decision or position that you've taken, don't you see it in conflict with the constitutional provision in terms of the payment of pension for officers?
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we do not see it to be in conflict with the provision that he read. And as I read in my response, this is an administrative decision that was taken in June 2021, and we have sustained it. We just announced that it is still in force. The mere fact that a government has changed doesn't mean government decisions are also truncated. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, return to question 196. Question 196. I was looking at your place, I was not finding you. Honourable
Mr. Speaker,
Dr. Kabiru.
I am enjoying my momentary elevation as
Elevation.
the available leader.
To leadership.
So that's why you can't find me there.
So you have the floor now.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Finance the alternative financing measures being implemented to support indigenous license buying companies in the absence of syndicated loan and associated seed funding for the year 2025 and 2026 cocoa seasons. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me place in context why the honorable member believes we need an alternative financing measure. The syndicated loan system failed under the watch of the previous managers of Cocoa Board after 32 years of successful implementation. As a result, in the 2024-2025 and 2025-26 cocoa seasons, the Cocoa Board operated a buyer-led pre-financing model. This funding model is entirely dependent on a buyer's willingness to bear the financing costs and to pre-finance the purchase of cocoa. The key motivation for buyers in the previous season was the rollover contract, which were priced at about $2,661 when the existing market prices were above $8,000 per ton. Once the gap between the rollover contract and the market price closed and majority of the rollover contracts were serviced, the buyer's appetite for pre-financing the purchase of the cocoa reduced. Mr. Speaker, in light of these limitations, government has adopted a new funding model for cocoa purchases with associated benefits for increasing processing. The model will mobilize domestic resources to purchase cocoa and repay with cocoa proceeds within each year. The model will be used to raise a revolving fund for Cocoa Board to turn around at least once during the season. This model will revive the indigenous license buying companies that have been completely thrown out of business as a result of the current financing model. With this model, Cocoa Board can sell beans of any volume to local processing companies and can also process and sell value-added products instead of the raw beans. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Dr. Kabilu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my first supplementary question is to ask for elucidation on the failure under the previous management of Cocoa Board. What in the ministry's assessment was the cause of the failure of the previous or the last indicated loan in respect for the indigenous produce buying companies? Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the economic condition in the country at the time made it unattractive for lenders to lend to Cocoa Board, even though Cocoa Board had had the track record of being able to assess those loans. And so Cocoa Board failed to assess any financing for the purchase of cocoa. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Kabilu.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. The second question I have is in respect of the new model. The minister, in his response, says that they have adopted a new model for cocoa purchases with associated benefit for increased processing, and the model will mobilize domestic resources to purchase cocoa and repay with cocoa proceeds within each year. Mr. Speaker, my question is on just this last statement I have read. Can the minister educate us on this new model and how the domestic resources mobilization is going to be like for the purposes of the clarity to this answer?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it is intended that Cocoa Board will issue a commercial paper and will use that funds to purchase cocoa and retire within a year. And so in both the main and lean seasons, the funds generated from the proceeds from the commercial paper will be used to purchase the cocoa. And we say this will give us the flexibility. Once we are not getting money from any buyer to buy the cocoa and we are raising the funds locally to do so, we will then be able to determine what quantity of our beans we give to our local processing companies that are lying idle. And Mr. Speaker, in the next coming weeks, we are coming to this House with details of this arrangement for the House to consider and give approval for its implementation. So, Honourable Member will have the opportunity to peruse it and also make input into it. But the general arrangement is what I have explained. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, my last supplementary question is regarding, I like the comfort the minister has given. Do I also get further assurances that that loan or that commercial paper that we are going to generate domestically is not going to be foreign denominated? It's going to be local Ghanaian CD denominated facility that they are supposed to use, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, rightly so, and as I said, it is coming to this House, and so honourable members will have the opportunity to peruse it and also make input. Thank you.
Question 197. 197. That's from while we go to Manson Kwanta, Honourable Twemboa Kodua Foku.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I would like to ask the Minister for Finance the extent to which the fiscal policies have fulfilled the expected economic recovery promises outlined in the National Democratic Congress's manifesto. Thank you.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as indicated in the 2024 National Democratic Congress manifesto, our solemn promise to the good people of Ghana was clear and simple: to stabilize the macroeconomy, drive inclusive growth, stabilize the cedi, and maintain price stability, among others. Mr. Speaker, when we assumed office, we were confronted with an economy in distress, characterized by gross fiscal indiscipline, high inflation rate, and a rapidly depreciating currency. Indeed, the situation was critical and the outlook was undeniably grim. In the face of these undeniable facts, we made a firm promise to Ghanaians to reverse this trajectory, and we have delivered on that promise. Today, we have steadily steered the economy back to stability and growth. Mr. Speaker, to achieve this, we outlined a comprehensive set of strategic and robust measures in the 2025 and 2026 budget statements and economic policy. Mr. Speaker, these measures aimed to reduce the fiscal deficit to sustainable levels, support debt sustainability, and restore macroeconomic stability. Among the measures are the following: establish the Ghana Gold Board to stem gold smuggling, improve foreign exchange inflows, and strengthen reserve accumulation. Abolish nuisance taxes such as the 1% electronic transfer levy, the 10% withholding tax on lottery and gaming winnings, and the 1% COVID-19 health recovery levy to bring relief to households and businesses and improve the efficiency of the tax system. Abolish the emission levy and on industries and vehicles, reduce the effective VAT rate from 21.9% to 20%, increase the VAT registration threshold from 200,000 cedis to 750,000 cedis, relieving small businesses of unnecessary compliance burdens, extended VAT zero rating on locally manufactured textiles to 2028, abolish the VAT on mineral recognizance and prospecting activities to attract investment, amended the Public Procurement Act to make commitment authorization and budgetary provisions prerequisites for all procurements, amended the PFM Act to introduce fiscal and debt rules that strengthen fiscal discipline and anchor medium-term debt sustainability, establish an independent fiscal council to enhance oversight, improve transparency, and ensure credible monitoring of compliance with fiscal targets, thereby reinforcing policy credibility and supporting macroeconomic stability, and capped key statutory funds under the Earmark Funds Capping and Realignment Act 2025 to increase allocation to fund priority programs in the education, healthcare, and infrastructure sectors, established a value for money office to provide independent oversight and guarantee that public expenditure delivers real value, fully integrate GANEPS with GIFMIS to strengthen procurement transparency and expenditure control, and conducted a payroll cleanup exercise to eliminate ghost names and contain the public sector wage bill. Mr. Speaker, the implementation of government's fiscal policies and reforms underpinned by strong fiscal discipline and enhanced efficiency in public expenditure management has resulted in the significant economic turnaround being witnessed, as reflected in the marked improvements across key macroeconomic indicators, including real GDP growth of 6% in 2025, accelerating further to 6.4% in the first quarter of 2026. Inflation declining sharply from 23.8% in 2024 to 5.4% at the end of 2025, and further to 3.7% in May 2026. Interest rates falling sharply, with the 91-day Treasury bill rate dropping from 27.7% at the end of 2024 to 11.1% in December 2025, and further to 5% in June 2026. The primary balance on commitment basis improving significantly from a deficit of 3% of GDP in 2024 to a surplus of 2.6% of GDP in 2025, and a surplus of 1.2% of GDP by the end of first quarter 2026. Public debt declining sharply from 61.8% of GDP in 2024 to 44.7% of GDP in 2025, and further down to 42.2% of GDP as at the end of February 2026. The current account posting a surplus of $9.1 billion at the end of 2025, up from only $1.5 billion in 2024. The cedi appreciating by 40.7% against the US dollar, 30.9% against the British pound, and 24% against the euro in 2025. And gross international reserves increasing to 13.8 billion United States dollars, representing 5.7 months of import cover, up from $8.9 billion, equivalent to 4 months of import cover in 2024. Mr. Speaker, in line with the resetting agenda, government has stayed true to its pledge to Ghanaians. The economy has responded positively to the fiscal policy measures and macroeconomic reforms by government, resulting in lower cost of living for the ordinary Ghanaian, in line with the economic recovery promises of the NDC. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes. Honorable Kuyoni, supplementary question.
Mr. Speaker, I thank the Minister for such an elaborate response. But Minister, I have some supplementary questions for you. Minister, I would like to know how many sustainable jobs you have created directly as a result of these fiscal policies, and what sectors account for these jobs, given that currently youth unemployment levels is at 34.4%, as given by the Ghana Statistical Services. Thank you.
Minister, you have the figures. Okay.
Mr. Speaker, unfortunately, the question did not ask about the number of jobs that have been created, and so I'm unable to give figures. Government recognizes that youth unemployment continues to be a problem in this country, and so we are doing everything possible to improve on the situation. But if you are minded to file another question on employment, we will gather figures and come and show this House, and we'll also demonstrate what we are doing more. There is always a time lag between when an economic policy is implemented and when the effects of the policies are actually felt in the economy. We have restored the macroeconomic environment, and what follows is for businesses to expand. In fact, Mr. Speaker, a lot of businesses have returned to profitability following the macroeconomic improvement that we saw in this country. And once they've return to profitability, they can plow back, reinvest, expand, and employ a lot more people than they are doing today. And so it's a gradual process, and we will not relent. We will make sure that we continue to work to reduce unemployment in this country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. Mr. Speaker, this supplementary question that I asked, it's in line with the main question that I asked, because the crust of my question was about fiscal policies.
Honorable member, ask a different question. He says unemployment figures he can't give.
Okay,
right?
that is fair enough. If he hasn't, gotten the response yet, but to say that they are not related, that one I think they are. Really
I'm not saying they are not related, but you brought him here for a specific question. Now you are asking him as to whether the policies have generated certain employment figures. He said he doesn't have them at hand.
No, fair enough.
And it's fair.
He hasn't got the figures here now. But you can provide it later, Minister. That is fair enough. My second supplementary question, Minister. Notwithstanding the macroeconomic indicators that you gave earlier on, elaborately, what evidence can you provide to the ordinary Ghanaian that there has been real reduction in cost of living, given that now we know that the cost of electricity is going up, the cost of water is going up effective July? What can you tell the ordinary Ghanaian with all the elaborate improvement in economic figures that you just gave? What can you tell the ordinary Ghanaian?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I can tell the ordinary Ghanaian, and in fact, I don't even need to tell the ordinary Ghanaian. They can attest to the fact that inflation has gone down. Prices are not increasing at the rate at which we saw in 2024. In fact, the cedi has stabilized. Every Ghanaian is aware of this. And they can attest to the fact that even prices of some commodities have gone down compared to what they were in 2024. These are things that Ghanaians live to witness. In fact, it is not for me to tell Ghanaians. Ghanaians are attesting to this themselves. And so these are the facts, and Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, thank you.
Your last question.
No, just a bit of response to...
I'm saying you are asking your last supplementary question.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to ask the Minister if his ministry could provide some comprehensive scorecards, independently verifiable, that would show the implementation of all these economic programs that he's spoken about, where we are currently, the promises that were made versus where we are. If we could have some scorecards that could be independently verified. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, if the honorable member wants a scorecard that could be independently verified, I don't think the same ministry that is delivering should be the one to provide it. I think that civil society or other institutions, institutions of higher learning, can take some of these things upon themselves to do. Civil society can do. That can be trusted more than a politician like me bringing a scorecard and coming to tell you, my opponent, that this was your score, this is the score today. Because, I mean, you know the environment under which we operate. So I accept that challenge, but I wish it won't come from us. I wish a neutral body would do it. And in fact, there are a number of them we can point to. Credit rating agencies have been rating us, and you know what our sovereign rating was in 2024, you know what it is today. These are verified, these are trusted scorecards that we can have to display. But as I said, I feel that an independent body will be the best to do what you are asking the ministry to do. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes. Yes, Nana Ajay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Deputy Finance Minister has given some macroeconomic indicators. Some are declining and moving in a positive way. I would like to find out from him. The market women they promised the Women's Development Bank are still borrowing around 20% to 22%, although interest rates are falling and T-bill rates are falling. I want to find out from him, when will our market women be borrowing below 15% and below? Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I know institutions that are lending below 15% today. Interest rates are reducing significantly. So, and there is no question about that. You know that interest rate today is far lower than they were more than a year and a half ago. And so be assured that we will continue to work hard to bring down interest rate so that our market women will benefit. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Lastly, let me give it to Damango.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me thank the Honorable Minister for his answers and for dwelling on two important matters of employment and cost of living. Mr. Speaker, there will always be calm after the storm, and the statistics the Minister is talking about are not what I intend to go into, but to say to him that everything was obviously on a downward trend since 2022 downwards. So it's nothing particularly extraordinary. But to point to the Minister and ask him that Ghana Statistical Service report and other reports has indicated that Q1 budgetary performance and execution is the lowest since 2016. And I have the figures here. Q1, you plan to spend some 90 billion Ghana cedis. You spend 73 billion Ghana cedis, a deficit of 24 billion Ghana cedis, the worst since 2016. And so the question is, in the light of the figures the Minister has churned out and the reality of purchasing power, which is dwindled by several statistics and data, cost of living and employment, what measures is the Ministry of Finance putting in place to ensure that we have a much more effective budgetary execution and performance? So, Mr. Speaker, as to ensure that the private sector is properly liquidated to deal with employment and cost of living. What is the Ministry of Finance doing to deal with budgetary performance?
Thank you,
Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Minister.
My good friend made a statement that purchasing power has reduced. That is not accurate. But on budget performance, I will tell you that in just a couple of weeks, the finance minister will be in this house to present the mid-year budget review. And you realize that contrary to what you are thinking, budget performance is on course. So just be patient. You will see that very soon. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
No. Nana, I wouldn't give you a platform again. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, the House is a House of records. Inflation is in the positive. And the minister making a categorical statement that purchasing power has improved. Factually, it cannot be right. Because you cannot have positive inflation and you say because of power. So, Mr. Speaker, I want that. It's not about argument. Mr. Speaker.
You see, the minister has come out with his answers. If you don't believe it, that is, but to say the minister's answers cannot be right, I don't think.
Mr. Speaker, I'm guided. The issue is other as whether if a member could raise point of information or point of order if a member is being misled during questioning. That's a different matter that your house would have to determine. That if a minister comes before us and is giving information which seems to be misleading, and a member can come on the point of information or order, that's a different. But Mr. Speaker, I would want to ask the minister, in the light of the fact that inflation is positive, in the light of the fact that exchange rate is depreciating, the statement as stated by the minister that purchasing power of Ghanaians has improved, can it be substantiated by that particular facts are presented to him, Mr. Speaker?
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the response was in context. The questioner was, in fact, I appreciate his question because as long as inflation is positive, it means that prices are increasing. But prices are increasing today at a lower rate than it was in 2024. So that is what I was telling my good brother, that it is not the case that purchasing power has worsened today as compared to when he was a minister. That is the position I'm making. That purchasing power was completely eroded under your tenure when inflation was 54% than it is today when inflation is 3.7%. That is inflation went to 54% under your watch.
Thank you. Honourable members, we turn to question 331. Question 331, and it stands in the name of Honourable Michael Kwesi Ofori-Krom. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have the authority of the member.
Honourable, go ahead.
I rise to ask the Minister for Finance the quantity of gold bought by the Gold Board, the source of supply, quantity bought from licensed small-scale miners, and the amount spent on the purchasing of gold. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, let me state from the outset that the Ghana Gold Board is a strategic arm of our nation's macroeconomic recovery, anchored on foreign exchange mobilization and anti-smuggling architecture. The Ghana Gold Board Act 1140-2025, stipulates that its purpose is to bring our gold trade out of the shadows, formalize supply, and ensure that Ghana captures the value that used to leak out through smuggling and fragmented trading channels. Mr. Speaker, available reports, including from Reuters, indicates that Ghana lost about $11.4 billion between 2019 and 2023 through gold smuggling. The Gold Board is gradually reversing this bleeding. Mr. Speaker, on the source of supply, Gold Board's supply comes from two principal channels. First, the artisanal and small-scale mining sector, and second, the large-scale mining companies. Mr. Speaker, the Gold Board purchases and aggregates gold principally from the artisanal and small-scale mining sector through licensed buyers operating under the Gold Board licensing regime. As at 31st May 2026, Gold Board had licensed a total of 1,184 buyers, including 2 aggregators, 67 self-financing aggregators, 736 Tier 2 buyers, and 379 Tier 1 buyers. Under the terms and conditions of their licenses, these buyers are required to purchase gold exclusively from licensed miners for onward sale to the Gold Board. Mr. Speaker, from January 2025 to May 2026, the Gold Board purchased a total of 135.843 metric tons of gold, of which 135.221 metric tons were sourced from artisanal and small-scale mining sector. Mr. Speaker, last year, 2025, the Gold Board cumulatively purchased, aggregated and exported ASM gold totaling 104 metric tons, which generated in excess of 10 billion United States dollars for the country. This singular achievement of the Gold Board was critical in the appreciation of the Ghana cedi by about 41% against the US dollar in 2025, and in increasing foreign reserves from about $8.98 billion in December 2024 to $13.8 billion by end of December 2025, among others. Mr. Speaker, from January 2025 to May 2026, the Gold Board expended approximately $16.1 billion on the purchase of gold, of which $9.8 billion was used between January and December 2025. Mr. Speaker, the bigger policy point is that government is deliberately shifting Ghana from a regime where gold wealth was dispersed, underpriced, and smuggled through the Gold Board. We have a regime where gold is transparently aggregated, assayed, refined, exported, and turned into foreign exchange and reserves for the Republic with visible and tangible benefits for the entire country. Mr. Speaker, to enhance regulatory compliance and sustainability, the Ghana Gold Board strengthened its collaboration with the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat to address illegal mining. Mr. Speaker, I want to emphasize that the Gold Board is not just about buying gold. It is about capturing Ghana's gold for Ghana's balance sheet, Ghana's reserves, and Ghana's economic sovereignty. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes. Honourable Member, any supplementary question?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Speaker, flowing from the Minister's response, page 55. Mr. Speaker, aye. Mr. Speaker, on the source of supply, Gold Board supplies come from 2 principal channels. First, the artisanal and the small-scale sector, and the second, the large-scale mining. The Speaker, in the response, when you go further, you notice that the Minister's response provides that, the Speaker, from January 2025 to May 2026, the Gold Board purchased a total of 135.843 metric tons of gold, of which 135.22 metric tons were sourced from artisanal and small-scale sector. Mr. Speaker,
So the question is
now, Mr. Speaker, it's clear that the Minister did not state the amount of gold that was sourced from the large-scale mining companies. And I'm asking if he would provide that response for because the answer is clear. 2 sources, you only mention 1 source. So how many golds are purchased from the large-scale mining companies? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. The greater chunk of the gold that Gold Board purchased was from the ASM sector. The amount from the large-scale mining sector was very small. I can get the figure for you in just a couple of minutes. It's public records. Thank you.
Very well. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, clearly from the entire response, the minister did not state the amount spent on the purchase of the gold. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If he can tell us how much was spent in the purchase of gold. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, this information too can be provided. I don't have it readily available, but I can get that amount for that figure for the House. Thank you.
Very well. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the minister stated in his response, Mr. Speaker, available reports, including from Reuters, indicate that Ghana lost about 11.4 billion between 2019 and 2023 through gold smuggling. Mr. Speaker, I want to find out if this report, which report is the minister referring to, and has this report come to your house for any committee as such to be assigned to verify the veracity of this report that is being referred to here by the minister? Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Minister, Reuters' report is in the news. That can be verified and provided. But I have the figure for the earlier question he asked. And so, if you don't mind, we spent $16.11 billion for the purchase of the gold between January 2025 to May 2026. The figure is 16.11 billion United States dollars.
Thank you very much. Yes. Yes. You've done your... Yes, I saw Honorable Member for... Yes. Kwabri East. Okay, fine. Menchia South, yes.
Mr. Speaker, from paragraph 4 of the minister's answer found at page 57, Mr. Speaker, he states as follows, and if I may take the liberty to read. Mr. Speaker, page 57, paragraph 4. Mr. Speaker, the bigger policy point is that government is deliberately shifting Ghana from a regime where gold wealth was dispersed, underpriced, and smuggled. Through the Gold Board, we have a regime where gold is transparently aggregated, assayed, refined, exported, and turned into foreign exchange and reserves for the Republic, with visible and tangible benefits for the entire country. Mr. Speaker, we all know that the assaying of gold, as from the question, from the
yes,
answer.
So let me hear your question.
Right, Mr. Speaker, the question is that with assaying of gold comes the determination of pricing of gold, particularly with the benefit of the world market price. So, Mr. Speaker, in the light of this answer, how would the minister explain the losses at the Gold Board in the light of this answer?
Well. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, there are no losses at the Gold Board.
Well.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, please, when a question is asked, at times I can just say it is not, but I would prefer the minister to actually respond. If, like, the way he has responded, then. But you said you've yielded yours. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, from the minister's answer, Mr. Speaker, from the minister's answer, 99.5% of the gold board purchases were done by small-scale artisanal miners. I want to ask the minister, what mechanism is gold board using to ensure that these small-scale artisanal miners are not indulging in galamsey? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Minister, did you get the question?
Mr. Speaker, my question is, from the minister's answer, 99.5% of the gold that gold board bought was from small-scale artisanal miners. I'm asking, what mechanisms has gold board employed to ensure that these artisanal miners, small-scale artisanal miners, are not indulging in galamsey? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Well, yes.
Mr. Speaker, Gold Board goes through a strict process to license buyers, and they have their conditions they need to meet to ensure that they source the gold from companies that have mined responsibly. In addition to this, currently, Gold Board is going through a national competitive tendering process to procure a nationwide gold traceability and tracking system that will be deployed across the entire country to ensure that the gold that Gold Board purchases are traceable and that they are mined responsibly. So a lot of interventions are going in to ensure that we protect the environment and we mine responsibly. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. From Ofoyukrom, we go to Dwabing. We go to Dwabing. Please. We go to Dwabing. Dwabing. Honorable Francis Kwabena Brimpong Usuechan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Minerals Development Fund.
Well. Thank you. Yes. Maswell.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I can confirm that the most recent payment to the Minerals Development Fund was 100 million cedis, which was made on the 3rd of June 2026. In addition to this, government transferred a total amount of 302.5 million Ghana cedis between January and May 2026, bringing the total transferred to the Minerals Development Fund this year alone to 402.4 million Ghana cedis. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Usuechan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to find out from the minister that this payment has been made in 2026. Is it that 2026 payment or this payment is for 2025?
Minister, did you get a question? Whether the payment is in respect of 2025 or for the 2026?
25, get back to you. The question was to find out when was the last time we made payment to the Minerals Development Fund. That is why we provided a recent, and we went further to add all those transfers we've made this year. But we can reconcile and show which ones were meant for 2025, if there were any outstanding payments to Minerals Development Fund. These can be verified. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. We turn to question 468. Question 468. Oh, you wanted to ask? I thought the answer was.
Just I wanted to find out when can we get these details, because when can we get these details? The details of the question I asked. He said, Mr. Speaker, the minister said that he will provide that those informations later.
Okay.
And I wanted to find out from the minister when.
Mr. Speaker, anytime you file another question, but if you want it privately, by close of day today, I can furnish that information to you. Thank you.
Well. Yes, Onyina, let's come to Ukwabri East.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Finance the plans of the ministry to address cocoa board payment challenges to license buying companies, especially during the months of February to September. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, government has adopted a set of reforms that will address the recurrent delay in payment to LBCs. These include, 1, a new financing model that uses domestic financing arrangements to finance cocoa purchases. This new financing arrangement will be structured in a way to ensure sufficient liquidity to LBCs throughout the year. 2, a new cocoa board bill to be laid before this House, which will, among others, propose the prohibition of cocoa board from undertaking quasi-fiscal expenditures. These expenditures have derailed cocoa board finances and affected its core functions, such as cocoa purchases. For instance, in December 2024, while cocoa board was paying for cocoa roads, LBCs were owed for cocoa delivered to cocoa board, some of which dates back to 2022. Mr. Speaker, we believe that the adoption of a new financing model and the discipline imposed by the new cocoa board bill will address the yearly delays in payment to LBCs. Mr. Speaker, let me add that between 2017 and 2023, cocoa board typically used the syndicated loan to
Honourable
finance...
members, please, we brought the minister here to respond to us. So I think it's befitting that we give him a hearing. The noise in the chamber is too much, please.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Let me add that between 2017 and 2023, cocoa board typically used the syndicated loan to finance cocoa purchases and quasi-fiscal activities such as cocoa roads. However, when the syndicated loan was exhausted, the previous managers of cocoa board resorted to additional borrowing from the domestic market through the issuance of expensive cocoa bills to finance the cocoa purchase. This appetite for borrowing led to unsustainable debt at cocoa board, resulting in the default on the servicing of the cocoa bills in 2023. Mr. Speaker, we will not repeat past reckless mistakes. This government is committed to restoring the finances of cocoa board and placing it on a sustainable path. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Inyina.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, let me ask the Finance Minister, what's wrong with the current financing model of forward trading that is warranting the new bill, and with the new bill, won't the farmers be exposed to the harsh vagaries of the world market prices? I said, you got the first part of the question. So the second part is, with the new model, won't the farmers, the cocoa farmers, be exposed to the harsh vagaries of the world market price?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the syndicated loan served us quite well, as I said in one of the questions earlier, that over 32 years, that is what Cocoa Board relied on in the purchasing of cocoa. But since that failed, Cocoa Board then resorted to getting buyers to pre-finance the purchases of cocoa. And at that time, because the arrangement was that the forward sale locked in a lower price and the actual price was way above, around 8,000, the appetite was there. When the gap narrowed, they chickened out and they were not then sending money for the purchase of cocoa. That is a challenge that we face since February. And so the arrangement today is that we mobilize resources internally and use it to purchase the cocoa. That will be in the best interest. But when the bill is brought here and the new arrangement is brought, you will see that, among others, government is committing that 70% of FOB price should be paid directly to farmers. So farmers will be better off in the new arrangement because we are raising the funds locally and we'll have the flexibility to give a lot of the beans to our processing companies that have huge installed capacity but are not able to process the beans today because of the purchasing arrangements. And so rest assured that this arrangement will be in the best interest of the cocoa farmer. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes, Onyina.
Mr. Speaker, when Cocoa Board delays payment, LBCs are exposed to finance cost that goes beyond the agreed 21-day period. Per this new arrangement, is Cocoa Board going to reimburse the LBCs on the extra days that, if there are delays, will Cocoa Board reimburse the LBCs on the extra finance costs that they incur from their operations due to Cocoa Board delays? Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, it is expected that the new arrangement will not cause any delay because we will not be waiting for buyers to bring money before we send to LBCs to pay cocoa farmers. We are sourcing the financing locally through the issuance of a commercial paper. So once we raise the funds, it will be paid to LBCs promptly to purchase the cocoa. And so that is the arrangement. And I stated earlier that in the few coming weeks, that arrangement will be placed before this House, and honorable members will have opportunity to interrogate it and also make input to perfect it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. We move to question 531, and that is from a member, Honorable Martin Kwakwaje Mensah Kosa, Tejima South.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Finance when government intends to roll out its intended Women Development Bank project, which received a 50 million allocation in the 2025 budget. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As the honorable member confirmed, 51.3 million Ghana cedis was allocated for this intervention in 2025. In addition, government in 2026 budget set aside 450 million for this initiative. Mr. Speaker, I can confirm that a lot of preparatory works have been done. On 26th of January 2026, the company, WDB Ghana Limited, was incorporated. Government has subsequently applied to the Bank of Ghana for the license to operate the Women's Development Bank. I wish to assure the House, the honorable members, and the House that the Minister for Finance will give full update on this intervention as part of the mid-year fiscal policy review scheduled for next month, July. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yeah, Honorable J. Mensah.
Mr. Speaker, quite worryingly, it's obvious that this answer prevents me from proceeding further. But the worrying thing, Mr. Speaker, is that this is a question that has been filed since a year, nearly, 14th of July 2025. I'm not able to tell what the scope of the minister's updates on this would be. But Mr. Speaker, in the case that I don't get these answers, then it means that the question still doesn't get answered. Mr. Speaker, a policy that receives budgetary allocations, one would have thought that there ought to have been some idea of operational dates, some operational modalities.
Honorable
Mr. Speaker,
Honorable Martin.
Mr. Speaker, I'm only saying that I hope that the scope of the updates would be all-encompassing and answer the lingering questions.
Well, where?
This policy concerns our constituents.
Well,
they are asking. Mr. Speaker, can I proceed?
Yeah, just ask the question, please.
It's a worrying matter. Over a year's question. Minister, I still cannot have the minister to answer.
Just ask the question.
Well, thank you. I hope that the minister's questions
well. So, honorable, we turn to the last question, 534. 534. That is from Tejima South. We are now coming to Accra Central. Accra Central. Yes, Honorable Charles Forson.
Speaker, I have related to the member, and to that effect, I want to come under Order 92. And as it were, seek your leave to withdraw the question accordingly.
Well, honorable members, the application is hereby admitted. We've approved the application and the question is hereby withdrawn. So, Honorable Minister, on behalf of the House, we thank you for attending upon the House, your own colleagues, to respond to their questions. We are so grateful and you are hereby discharged. Yes.
Speaker, may I pray that we vary the order of business to lay some papers before we take the statements listed under item number 7. So let's lay the papers. Item number 8A and B. Page 7.
8A, haven't we done that?
And then you've done all.
We've laid all the papers.
Okay. Then the statements.
But
Yes, my colleague should be grateful to us. My good friend should be grateful to us. In fact, we have ensured that all these papers have been laid. All the papers have been laid, right from 8A, Chief Whip. You see, he won't listen. All your papers have been laid. And from 8A, B, C, D, and even E. You should be thanking us. Relate to Honorable Charles Forson, and he will let you know the support we have given to you today. Anyway, so we should be proceeding.
Thank you. So, honorable members, I will thank you and cede the seat to the first deputy speaker to continue. But meanwhile, leadership, yes, guide us.
Speaker, we want to take the motion of rescission in respect of the GIPC bill. Yes, it is.
My friend, we will cooperate when we have to. Speaker, my colleague should give us a guide, and he understands this work so well. Give us a guide how you want to navigate. Then we can follow and support you. You are picking and choosing. You go and mention item 10 and you move to item 44. It's in quite a confused manner. You are going to 48 now. Then after that, you move to where? You should just give us a pattern, then we can follow.
Speaker, I gave an indication. The Honorable Ano himself has reminded the House that all the items I indicated have been laid. Now, I'm saying that we should take item number 42. Again, he says, I'm guiding you in a methodical manner. Relax.
Honourable members, the agreement is to take item number 42. Is it 42 or 48? It's motion number 42. Yes.
Speaker, now the chair had subsequently informed leadership that it is their pleasure that this business is taken tomorrow. Yes, that's what he said to me before he left the chamber. And I'm sure the ranking member can confirm that. But if it is the pleasure of your side that you want to go ahead, I mean, this is not harmful.
We can take the motion and defer the consideration to tomorrow.
Yeah, but he did not communicate that to us.
The motion is 42 and the consideration is 43. And we are talking about 42. So 43 will require the presence of the chairman. But 42 is a motion in the name of the minister.
Speaker, in this house, we must always help you to guide the house. And he is calling the business. And I'm saying, if it is the intent that he wants to take the motion and then the consideration will be taken later on or the question will not be put, then he must say so that we follow duly. That's all I'm saying.
Speaker, with all due respect to my brother, the indication is to take motion number 42. I haven't hinted of taking 43 consequentially. So let's take 42. When the decision is taken, then yes, exactly. But so let's take 42.
Motion number 42, Minister responsible for finance.
Speaker, the Honorable Minister for Finance is unavoidably absent. Today's cabinet, and so the deputy, today's cabinet, they are in cabinet as we speak. So the deputy has been here, is a member, he's been on the floor, he's done a lot of business. I pray that he takes this on behalf of his boss. I thank you.
Well, he got up to do it anyway without. Oh, yes, I saw him. He has been doing all the business of the finance minister, so it will be most unfair for me to oppose. So you go ahead and do it. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move that this House resigns its decision taken on Thursday, 26 March 2026, in respect of the third reading of the Ghana Investment Promotion Authority Bill 2025. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
A background.
Yes.
This has become necessary because of the inadvertent omission of some clauses that were supposed to be taken. Mr. Speaker, if you recall, during the referral to the committee and subsequent consideration by the committee, there were a lot of amendments proposed by the committee, and so we were of the opinion that the bill should be withdrawn and relayed, but we were advised that if we did that, it had to go through the entire process again. And so we should go ahead and consider that we handle omissions. Thank you.
Motion ably moved. Any seconder?
Speaker, I rise to second the motion.
Honourable members, motion moved and seconded, and it is for the consideration of the House. Honourable members, in the absence of any consideration, I will put a question. As many as are in favor of the motion for rescission, say aye. Those against, say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. The motion for rescission is accordingly adopted. Now, the Ghana Investment Promotion Authority Bill 2025 is at consideration stage. Yes.
Speaker, may I propose that we take just a couple of the provisions and then we can come back tomorrow and finish it. Let's take just a couple of the provisions and then. It's in the order paper, please. Check. Please. Can let me. I beg you. Wait. Speaker, the advertised amendments are featured on page 32, 33, and 34 of today's order paper. But gauging the sense of the House, my prayer is that we take just a couple, then tomorrow we can come and finish. I don't, because, oh, can you please? So we are just praying to take just a couple of the provisions and then we come and take the rest tomorrow. Mr. Speaker, that's my prayer to my brother across the divide.
John, are you going?
We have engaged and we have agreed that we'll take just a couple.
Speaker, you see, this element of surprise is what I've always been speaking against. Nobody is here to hold you to ransom or delay or frustrate government business. Just a while ago, I had inquired from my colleague, and he said, no, I have not talked about consequential business of consideration. I am only interested in rescission. There was clarity in his statement. Suddenly, he said, okay, let's take a couple. Now, after a couple, he will say, let's take one more clause. After one more clause, he will say, let's do another clause. No, I submit strongly. The chair related to me before he left the chamber. He said, and Speaker, I winked at you, and then, there was some exchange between, then I asked him to come and talk to you. The chairman is not here. There are only few amendments you want to incorporate. Between now and tomorrow, what will go wrong?
Honorable Anodompe, in view of the fact that the maze has been tilted to bring this particular bill at consideration stage, if possible, we can do one clause and defer the rest to tomorrow.
Charlie. Speaker. John, what do you job? Speaker, with respect to you,
so
the tilting of the
now,
maze, the tilting of the maze has no consequence.
So if you we take the rescission motion and bring the bill to a consideration stage, then we defer the consideration stage.
Consideration, we want members to make informed input. And look at the advertised amendment. There are not too many. I am just humbly saying that to the extent that the leadership of the committee is not here, and the leadership had communicated, giving prior notification of their willingness to ensure that we make these amendments. Nothing will go wrong if we take this, we do it tomorrow. But if it is the pleasure of our colleagues, you want to insist, fine. We will just observe, go ahead and do it as you wish.
Speaker, for the records, we are not insisting. We are negotiating. That's how we do this work. We consult. Speaker, just a while ago, my brother was the one belaboring the point that there are a lot of advertised items that continue to persist on the order paper that we don't take. So if we have an opportunity to lessen the burden, I believe that, yes, it's important. So my prayer is that we take just a couple, 1, 2, 3, and then we leave it there. Tomorrow, the numbers that will come and take in respect of the advertised amendments will be less than those that will discharge today. So I plead with you, my brother. So, Speaker, let's take the first 3, and then we can. Don't wash your hands, I beg you.
Speaker, we want to show patriotism. They are pushing us to cooperate. So we will agree that we'll do a clause, and then tomorrow we will finish it.
Honorable members, this is a house of record. This is a house of record. Honorable Minority Whip, this is a house of record. If an item or a business is advertised on the order paper to be done for that day, why do we have to negotiate again?
May I?
Yes.
Somebody's mic is on. Somebody's mic is on. Yes, Speaker, you asked a very important question. And if I may answer from my little experience in this house. So if you look at the order paper for today, quite voluminous. Practice has shown that it is not all the business that are advertised that eventually gets taken because of exigencies of issues that come up. For instance, let me give you a typical example. Yesterday, we had 3 statements admitted and advertised. Only 2 were taken, with the understanding that today we'll take the other one. We've not been able to take it, but we are ready to make a compromise. We are ready to make a compromise. The honorable member is ready to make a compromise. That is why we were not pushing for any of those statements to be taken, but to make sure that you lay all the papers that are public business. So we are not compelled to negotiate necessarily, but we are saying that to the extent that the context in which this business was taken, we took it, a reason has come up that we had to rescind and begin the process again. And there has been good communication from the leadership of the committee. That is why, Speaker, I'm only saying that we engage. It is not a negotiation in its meaning as we are negotiating.
Yes,
but we are just engaging
in
to
that
get an
case,
understanding.
we normally defer to the leader of government business.
Speaker, that's fine. They can proceed.
Or is that not the case?
Yes, Speaker.
We defer to the leader of government business. For the leader of government business to pick and choose.
I'm not the leader of government business. I am not.
Speaker, I believe that let's take the couple of the first 3. A couple. Yes, I said a couple of the advertised amendments. Then we can take the statements and then we can adjourn for the day, Mr. Speaker. Humbly submitted.
Item numbered 43, Ghana Investment Promotion Authority Bill 2025 at consideration stage. Clause 4.
Functions of the authority.
Chairman of the committee.
Right Honorable Speaker, Clause 4. Amendment proposed. Paragraph Q, Land 2. After agreement, delete which entered into force on 30th May 2019. I so move, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, the proposed amendment by the chairman of the committee is for the consideration of the House.
Speaker, I rise to support the amendment.
Honorable members, I'll put a question. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The proposed amendment is ordered to stand part of the bill. Now, I'll put a question on entire clause 4. As many as are in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Clause 4 is ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 29.
Annual report and other reports.
Chairman of the committee.
Clause 29, amendment proposed. Subclause 1, line 1. Delete authority and insert board. I so move.
Honourable members, the proposed amendment by the chairman of the committee is for the consideration of the House. I'll put a question. Those in favor of the proposed amendment by the chairman of the committee say aye. Aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The proposed amendment by the chairman of the committee is ordered to stand part of the bill. Now, I'll put a question on entire clause 29 in absence of any further amendment. Those in favor say aye. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Clause 29 is ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 43.
Dispute resolution procedures.
Yes, Chairman of the committee.
Clause 43, amendment proposed. Subclause 10. The closing phrase, delete office of the president and insert minister. I so move.
Honourable members, the proposed amendment is for the consideration of the House. Any further amendment?
Speaker, I rise to support the present amendment.
Honourable members, I'll put a question on the proposed amendment. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The proposed amendment is ordered to stand part of the bill. Now I'll put a question on entire clause 43 in the absence of any further amendment. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Clause 43 is ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 44.
Establishment of an investor grievance mechanism.
Chairman of the committee.
Clause 44, amendment proposed. Subclause 2, line 3. After 2, delete arbitration and insert a dispute resolution procedure. I so move.
Honourable members, the proposed amendment is for the consideration of the House. Any further amendment? In the absence of any further amendment, I'll put a question on the proposed amendment. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The proposed amendment is ordered to stand part of the bill. Now, I'll put a question on entire clause 44 in the absence of any further amendment. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. Clause 44 is ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 55.
Offences and penalties.
Chairman of the committee.
Clause 55, right honourable Speaker. Amendment proposed. Subclause 1, paragraphs A to D. Delete and insert the following paragraphs. A, let and sublet a store or a store in a market to a foreigner for an activity relating to trading, or B, contravenes a provision of this act for which a penalty is not specified except for section 50. I so move.
Honourable members, the proposed amendment is for the consideration of the House. Any further amendment? I'll put a question on the chairman's amendment. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The proposed amendment by the chairman of the committee is ordered to stand part of the bill. Now I'll put a question on entire clause 55. Very well. Let's do amendment VI. We may move amendment VI, also on clause 55. Hello, Chairman. You may move VI in clause 55. Page
Right, Honourable
33.
Speaker, clause 55 VI.
Yes.
Amendment proposed. Subclause 4, line 5. Delete 1 and insert 2. I so move.
Honourable members, the proposed amendment is for your consideration. I'll put the question. Those in favor of the amendment proposed by the chairman of the committee say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The proposed amendment is ordered to stand part of the bill. Now the question on entire clause 55. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. Clause 55 is ordered to stand part of the bill. Yes, Majority Leader.
Speaker, I indicated that we'll take a couple and then we can, but I think that the sense of the House is that let's finish. We only have one amendment one amendment in respect of one provision to consider, which is clause 59. So let's finish it, my brother. We'll do the statement. I give you my word. We'll do the statement.
Clause 59.
Interpretation.
Chairman of the committee.
Under 59, we have various amendments proposed.
Yes, VII.
Yeah, VII amendment proposed. After interpretation for capital, insert the following definition for citizen. Citizen means a citizen of Ghana. I so moved.
Honourable members, the proposed amendment is for your consideration. Any further amendment? I'll put a question. Those in favor of the amendment proposed by the chairman of the committee say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The proposed amendment is ordered to stand part of the bill. Chairman, VIII.
Clause 59 VIII amendment proposed. After interpretation for board, insert the following definition for branch. Branch means a fixed place of business in Ghana other than the head office or registered office established by an enterprise registered under this act, through which the enterprise wholly or partly carries on the business of the enterprise, and which does not constitute a separate legal entity from the enterprise. I so move.
Honourable members, the proposed amendment is for your consideration. Any further amendment? In the absence of any further amendment, I'll put a question. Those in favor of the proposed amendment by the chairman of the committee say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The proposed amendment is ordered to stand part of the bill. Chairman, 59 IX.
Clause 59 IS. Amendment proposed. Delete interpretation for constitution. I so move.
Honourable members, the proposed amendment is for the consideration of the House. I'll put a question. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The proposed amendment, as in IX, is ordered to stand part of the bill. Chairman X.
Clause 59X. Amendment proposed. Delete interpretation for government. I so move.
Yes.
Chairman, can you justify why you are deleting definition of government?
Didn't the Interpretation Act define same? In other words, is government a term of art to be interpreted?
Speaker, government has been defined in the Constitution, so I think that we could have borrowed from there. But if you think that it's not a term of art to be defined, because, for instance, citizen, you proceeded, we don't enact laws for any other country. but you decided to define citizen to mean citizens of Ghana. So.
But since government has already been defined in the Constitution, there wasn't the need for us to redefine it. Please. Right Honorable Speaker, the proposed amendment still stands. 59X, delete interpretation for government. I so move.
I'll put a question. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The proposed amendment is ordered to stand part of the bill. Chairman, XI.
Clause 59 SI, amendment proposed. Interpretation for minister. Delete and insert the following. Minister means the minister designated in writing by the president to have oversight responsibility over the authority under subsection 2 of section 15 of this act. I so move.
Honourable members, the proposed amendment is for your consideration. In the absence of any further, yes.
Speaker, why don't we leave the meaning be ascribed to minister in writing by the president? Because in writing, president will indicate. Do we have to
extend it to subsection 2 of section 15 says?
What does
because
it say?
They are cross-referencing.
Yes.
So let's look at what it says. Then that will inform us if there is a need for a necessary modification. So 15.2 is saying the president shall in writing designate a minister to have oversight responsibility over the authority. And they are cross-referencing the 15.2.
That provision?
Yes, that provision.
It's a mandatory terms?
Yes.
Okay, so the communication couldn't have been done without recourse to subsection 2 of 15?
Yes.
Okay, it's in order.
So I'll put a question. As many as are in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The proposed amendment is ordered to stand part of the bill. Chairman, clause 59, XII.
Clause 59 SII, amendment proposed. Interpretation for technology transfer agreements. Opening phrase, delete and insert the following. Technology transfer agreement means an agreement of a duration not less than 12 months between a foreign enterprise or entity which is duly incorporated or registered in the country of origin of the foreign enterprise or entity, and an enterprise or entity which is duly incorporated or registered in Ghana and involves one or more of the following. I so move.
Honourable members, the proposed amendment by the chairman of the committee is for the consideration of the House. Any further amendment?
Speaker, I support the present amendment.
I'll put a question. As many as are in favor of the proposed amendment say aye. Those against say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. Now I'll put a question on the entire clause 59 as variously amended. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Clause 59 is ordered to stand part of the bill. Honourable members, in view of this amendment, we'll have to look at the long title again to see whether the proposed amendment will have impact on the long title. Therefore, the long title is under consideration.
An act to establish the Ghana Investment Promotion Authority to encourage, promote, facilitate, and regulate investments into and within Ghana, to provide for the creation of an investment in Ghana, to facilitate investment outside Ghana by Ghanaian investors in Ghana, and to provide for related matters.
Honourable members, the long title is for your consideration. Any proposed amendment? In the absence of any proposed amendment, I'll put a question on the long title. As many as yes.
I'm curious why the insertion of Ghanaian investors and not just investors. Can an investor other than a Ghanaian investor function under this law, being the long title? So my humble view is that we shouldn't qualify the investor as Ghanaian investor. It may be a foreign investor who may invest, and this framework will govern his business. So I think that in the long title, we should take away the adjective and just leave it at investor.
That we consider this once. So they have to read the new rendition, the one that we passed, not the bill that came. So
An act to establish the Ghana Investment Promotion Authority to encourage, promote, facilitate, and regulate investments into and within Ghana, to provide for the creation of an incentive framework and a transparent, predictable, and facilitating environment for investment in Ghana, to facilitate investment outside Ghana by Ghanaian investors in Ghana, and to provide for related matters.
yes, this is the rendition that the House is supposed to consider. Any proposed amendment?
Speaker, I rise to support the present amendment.
Honourable members, I'll put a question. As many as are in favor of the long title standing part of the bill, say aye. Aye. Those against, say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. The long title is ordered to stand part of the bill. And honourable members, we have come to the end of consideration stage of Ghana Investment Promotion Authority Bill 2025. Yes, Majority Leader.
Speaker, we want to thank our colleagues on the other side for assisting us to conclude business in respect of this bill. We thank them so much. My brother, Minority Chief Whip, I'm showing gratitude for your understanding and helping us to navigate this. You know, because of the issue after the recession, I thank you for helping us. So, Mr. Speaker, may I pray that we vary business and return to 44. It's okay. Let me, I plead with you. Let's do it tomorrow. So, Speaker, I pray that we take item 7. There are two statements that we've deferred for a couple of days now. We want to take it. One in the name of Dr. Che, and then the other in the name of my brother, Robert Kujo. Quickly, Speaker, we are praying that we take one comments, and then leadership will conclude. Then we can bring today's proceedings to a close. Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
That's my proposal.
Minority Chief Whip.
Speaker, we can proceed.
Very well. I will then proceed to give the floor to Honorable Dr. Fred Che Asamoah, Member of Parliament for Ofinsu North, to make a statement on technical and vocational education and training. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm grateful. I rise to make a statement on the strategic importance of technical and vocational education and training, TVET, as a national priority for economic transformation, industrialization, job creation, and national security. Ghana's future competitiveness will depend on how deliberately we build a skilled workforce that can respond to industry needs, technological change, and the demand for a modern economy. Mr. Speaker, in this regard, the German dual vocational education and training system offers important lessons because it has linked education, industry, and national productivity in a structured and sustainable way. Mr. Speaker, historically, Germany's VET system evolved from the apprenticeship traditions of the Middle Ages. However, following the devastation of the Second World War, Germany recognized that rebuilding its economy required a highly skilled workforce. Consequently, vocational education was elevated from being merely an educational option to becoming a central pillar of its economy. Germany's commitment to TVET is reflected in the scale and structure of its system. Its dual vocational training system has about 1.2 million apprentices, roughly 400,000 training companies, and more than 8,000 vocational schools, with training offered across more than 320 recognized occupations. In 2021, Mr. Speaker, about 74% of apprentices stayed with the companies they trained with and received employment contracts after completing their vocational training. In addition, it's worth noting that 96% of the apprentices secure employment after their training in Germany. A visit to the Deutsche Bundestag, that is the German parliament, the German Chamber of Industry and Commerce, the BVG Training Center in Berlin, Bonn-Rhein State University of Applied Sciences, AXA Insurance Group in Bonn, and the German Federal Institute of Vocational Education and Training, DAB BIBB, confirmed one central lesson: effective TVET must integrate theory, practical training, and real workplace experience. Apprentices typically train for between 2 to 3.5 years under a formal contract, combining school-based learning with company-based training, whilst receiving a monthly allowance. Mr. Speaker, the strength of the German model lies not only in public investment, but also in strong employer participation, legal clarity, quality assurance, and the recognition that skills development is a long-term investment in productivity, innovation, and competitiveness. One of Germany's most important achievements is that TVET is not treated as a second-choice pathway. Through legislation, employer leadership, chamber oversight, credible certification, and clear career progression, Germany has built public confidence in vocational education and positioned skilled work as respected route to prosperity. This model works because employers, labor unions, chambers of commerce, and industry, training institutions, and government share responsibility for curriculum development, training standards, and assessment. It also works because, Mr. Speaker, apprentices are paid, trained in real workplaces, and given credible opportunity for employment, further education, entrepreneurship, and social mobility. Mr. Speaker, the benefits of this approach are evident. Companies enjoy a reliable supply of workers and reduce recruitment costs. Apprentices acquire industry experience and income during training and secure better employment opportunities. The government benefits from lower youth unemployment, increased industrial productivity, and enhanced national competitiveness. These outcomes have contributed significantly to Germany's position as one of the world's foremost manufacturing nations. Mr. Speaker, Ghana has taken commendable steps to strengthen TVET, but Germany's experience points to a clear reform that can accelerate our progress and make TVET a stronger engine of national development. And with this, Mr. Speaker, one, we will have to strengthen industry participation by making employers active partners in curriculum design, workplace training, assessment, and certification. Two, expand structured apprenticeship pathways across technical and vocational programs so that every learner gains practical workplace experience before graduation. Three, increase private sector investment in workforce development by encouraging businesses to train future workers rather than only consume skilled labor. Four, continue investing in modern workshops, laboratories, digital tools, and equipment that reflect current and emerging industry standards. Five, elevate the status of TVET through professionalization, licensing, and stronger links between certified skills and business registration in relevant sectors. And six, establish employer-led and independently assured certification system to improve credibility, public confidence, and labor market acceptance. Mr. Speaker, the lesson from Germany is clear. Sustainable economic transformation is built on a skilled workforce, and that workforce must be deliberately developed through investment, industry partnership, effective governance, and a national culture that values technical competence. As artificial intelligence and new technologies reshape the global labor market, Ghana must prepare its youth not only to seek jobs, but to create value, build enterprises, and compete in the industries of the future. I therefore call on government, parliament, industry, educational institutions, development partners, and all stakeholders to deepen their commitment to TVET and build a coordinated national skills system that is capable of training and driving Ghana's industrialization, youth employment, innovation, and long-term competitiveness. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity to make this statement.
Yes, it's time for comment. Honorable Soini.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute to a very beautiful statement made by my honorable colleague to highlight the importance of technical and vocational training and its impact to national growth. The Speaker, I took note of the comparison with the German model. Mr. Speaker, he couldn't have been more right. The Speaker, I could not also help but think of the correlation between the examples from Germany and the examples that we have experimented with in this country over the years. I recall, Mr. Speaker, in JHS, when we began in the early 90s, it was, key. Technical education was a key component of the JSS model. And almost every JSS school at the time had a technical or vocational center as part of, the construction. And as part of learning, I'll say the first time I learned how to make a stool, the first time I learned how to actually prepare banku was at JSS. The first time I learned how to carve, a calabash was during JSS. And I wonder if any of our pupils today in JSS are exposed to some of these skills that we were taught, even at that level. The Speaker, the problem, however, after that exposure at JSS, I noticed later, was that some of our colleagues who decided to pursue, technical education to a higher level became lost along the line because the career progression, the educational pathway, when you choose to do technical and vocational education, is not that clear. And so sometimes they go to technical polytechnics at the time, and then they come out, and the placement, even in the job market, was a problem. I think to resolve that was the reason why the nation decided to introduce, to convert the technical university, technical polytechnics into technical universities. But I do not think that we have fully resolved that problem, that people who choose to go technical education, the full haul phase. Mr. Speaker, I also could not help but think of this new policy of government, the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program. Clearly, if you listen to the German model, you can see the resemblance, you can see the similarities between the German model and the concept behind the introduction of the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program. The only problem we may be faced with now is the legal clarity that, according to his presentation, the German model has, and then the national acceptance that the German model has. If we are able to come together as a country and see this program, perhaps as a national program, that can help fine-tune, the technical and vocational education in this country, given the fact that we all accept that as a developing nation, it is the best way to provide jobs and employment for our people. I mean, today we all complain that even for building for putting up buildings, for putting up, infrastructure generally, we depend largely on citizens from our neighboring countries because they are more trustworthy, they are more skilled, and we know how much they earn as a result of this. And yet we have many of our young people who are still languishing without jobs. So, Mr. Speaker, I commend the maker of this statement, and I will, on this basis, perhaps recommend that as a House, we see how together we can help, fine-tune, if there need be, the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program to become just like the German model that we seem to all admire and appreciate. Okay. Thank you very much for the opportunity, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable John Dako.
Speaker, thank you very much for this opportunity to comment on the lucid statement made by my brother, the MP for Offenso North. Mr. Speaker, this statement is not only timely, but very, very important. Mr. Speaker, especially looking at the spectacular failure of the government's 133 policy. Mr. Speaker, the government of the day promised that through its policy, it will provide jobs for the Ghanaian youth, and that you have one job with 3 people will engage.
They should keep your time. Yes, majority.
Mr. Speaker, this particular failure.
Please, they are keeping your time. I recognize the majority.
Sorry, Mr. Speaker.
Speaker, the rule is very clear in commenting on a member's statement. Don't engage in controversies. Please, make your comments, but avoid comments that will generate controversies, with all due respect.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I believe that the people of Ghana will be the best judges whether in the past 17 or so months the so-called program to
Honorable John Dako, please respect
where is it? There is
our
no
standing orders.
For the people of Ghana, Mr.
Respect our standing orders.
Yeah, Mr.
A
Speaker.
statement, comment on a statement must not generate debate.
Mr. Speaker, I have not generated any debate. It is the majority chief who is generating debate from my innocuous statement. The statement is that this government has failed to, as it were, make provision
Honorable
for this.
John Dako, once you will not heed to the advice from the Speaker, kindly resume your seat.
Mr. Speaker.
Please resume your seat.
Mr. Speaker, what? Now we
kindly resume your seat. Please kindly resume your seat. Honorable John Dako, resume your seat. Honorable John Dako, resume your seat. Yes, minority leadership.
I will advise my colleague to, he is a very dutiful and he's the type who pays attention to the rules. So he may have to revert his mind to 93.5. So I'll plead with my colleague, in as much as there are reasons to criticize this government, we will do it at the appropriate time. Yeah, at the appropriate time. So he should navigate appropriately. And I know he knows what to do. At the appropriate time, he will say what you have to say. So he'll proceed, and he'll be guided accordingly.
I have ruled.
Speaker,
you have the floor.
Speaker, what do you mean?
You have the floor.
To comment?
Yes.
Oh, Speaker, I want to yield to him. I rather want to yield to him.
He had his opportunity.
No,
Honourable members,
but I want to yield
we are here to provide guidance.
Speaker,
and when a person presiding, not only me, is giving you guidance, in every parliament, you heed to the guidance. You don't continue the offense. It doesn't happen in any parliament. So when you make a statement which offend the rules and your attention is drawn to it, you depart and then you continue your debate. It is a disrespect to the maize if you keep on stating the point that offends the rules.
We will take a cue, and I will unreservedly, for on behalf of my colleague. I'm sure he will have the turn to speak. As we know you as the father of this house. So unreservedly, I don't want to apologize for he staying on the wrong course when you were continuously trying to guide him. And so we'll plead with you that he should permit our colleague. And I'm sure this time he'll be guided accordingly. Yes, so we are grateful.
Speaker, grateful. I'm very grateful for the opportunity. I apologize unreservedly, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I believe that the statement by my brother is timely in the sense that, Mr. Speaker, the level of unemployment in this country is amazing, and the best way that we can create employment is through the funding of TV TVET programs in the country. The point is that, Mr. Speaker, to the people of Ghana, to the youth of Ghana, no job is coming. The only way you can create jobs is for you to go out there. If you want to be a mason, get education, because the government is not providing you any job. If you want to be a tiler, get education, polish your skill. The government is not bringing you any job. If you want to be an electrician, make sure you have education. This government has no job for you. If you want to be a carpenter, get education. Make sure that you polish your skills. This is what TVET provides. And Mr. Speaker, that is why I believe that the Germans are succeeding. The reason why the Germans are succeeding is that they take these jobs, they polish them, and they make them better. And so I'll plead with my brothers and sisters in this country, the youth of this country, that if you are waiting for the government to provide you white-collar job, please, it is not coming. If you have the technical skills, polish it. If you're a welder in Suame, polish it. If you're a caterer in Suame, polish it. Make sure that you get education. That is the only way that you can get it, and that is what TVET provides. And so, Mr. Speaker, on that short note, I want to thank the maker of the statement for his lucid statements to this House, and to encourage the youth and the people of Ghana to ensure that they get technical vocational education training, because it is the only way they can get themselves out of this unemployment situation, because this government is not bringing any job. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to comment on this.
Yes, minority. From the beginning, the indication was we are taking 1-1 and take the other statement.
No, Speaker.
We say 1-1,
yes,
then we come to leadership,
yes,
and then we can take the other statement.
The chairman.
Well, the minority will have to also comment.
The prayer was that we take 1-1 plus leadership.
Yes, so I'm coming to the minority
Okay.
leadership.
Okay, great.
Speaker, a matter on TVET. Oh. Speaker, I actually yielded to him, so it should stand as I proposed.
Very well, majority.
Speaker, I yield to the Honorable Chairman for Education.
Yes, you have the floor.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I associate myself with the statement made by Honorable Dr. Fred Che Asamoah, MP for Ofinso North constituency. Yes, as he rightly said, we had the opportunity to be in Germany to understudy the dual TVET system. The program or the trip was sponsored by GetFund, and we are grateful to GetFund for that opportunity. Yeah, the dual system, as he mentioned, in Germany is such that apprentices who are students and workers as well have a dual opportunity. You could spend 3 days on training, that is practical training, and then 2 days normal lectures. And part of it is that the industry pays a stipend to each apprentice. And that is what is helping make people have or develop interest in TVET programs in Germany. Now, it is also important to know that in Germany, the government is not involved in payment of allowances to apprentices. It is the industry that does that, and it is working perfectly. So our recommendation is that we should adopt their system and see what role industry can play. Do we, as a nation, introduce incentives to companies or industries that will engage these apprentices? Because we have also even found it difficult that in Ghana, what happens is that many companies or industries are not ready to engage these apprentices for training or practical work. And that is
also another challenge we need to look at critically. Mr. Speaker, a few years ago, we absorbed or changed some of these polytechnics into technical universities. And this was the reason for which it was done. But we have observed that many of these technical universities have abandoned their core mandates. They are now running these business programs, social sciences, and they are losing focus. I think as a nation and as a house, we need to look at it carefully. They must go back to the mandate that was given to them by the law so that they can focus on their mandate and provide technical and vocational education in the country. Some of them are even offering a PhD in business management and other programs that are not technically and vocationally related. So, Mr. Speaker, we have a long way to go, and as a House, we need to look at this carefully. Mr. Speaker, we also need a framework, a qualification framework for technical and vocational education. This morning, the Committee on Education had the opportunity to meet with CTVET, and this issue came up. What qualification or the name of examination are we giving to these products from technical universities or our technical institute when they write their examinations? It used to be NAPTEX. Now, what do we call it? It was City and Guilds also. What name do we give to their qualifications now? That framework, we must begin to work on it as quickly as possible. So, Mr. Speaker, we need to plan for these programs so that we can benefit from them. Currently, many artisans that we have in this country are foreigners from Togo and Benin, and they do much of the work for us. Years ago, anyone who wanted to go into technical and vocational education was considered to be not academically good. But I don't think that is the case now. Many people are beginning to develop interest in technical and educational vocation, and we need to encourage them. So, Mr. Speaker, the statement is in the right direction. We need to take a critical look at it and then make sure that we support technical and vocational education in the country. With the proposal by His Excellency the President to launch the TVET Fund shortly, I think that will go a long way to promote vocational education in the country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, honourable members, let's move to the last statement, standing in the name of Honorable Robert Wisdom Kujo, Member of Parliament for Prestea, Uni Valley.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my statement is on the increasing use of the ammunition and firearms at festivals, a grave public security concern. Right Honourable Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to bring to the attention of this august House an issue of grave national security and public safety concern, one that continues to claim innocent lives and cause avoidable tragedies across the country. Mr. Speaker, our traditional festivals are sacred pillars of our cultural heritage. They are celebrated to promote unity, honor, and our ancestors, preserve our tradition, and foster community development. From the Bungun Fire Festival and the Fiok Festival in the north to the Ojra, Hobetitu, and Homo in the south, these gatherings are intended to showcase the beauty of Ghanaian culture, peace, and hospitality. However, Mr. Speaker, the traditional practice of musketry, which historically involved the use of blank gunpowder to produce symbolic gun salute, that is the boom, during festivals and funerals of chiefs and distinguished personalities, have increasingly been replaced by the use of modern pistols, locally manufactured shotguns, and even assault rifles and loaded with live ammunition. This dangerous trend is gradually transforming joyous cultural celebration into scenes of bloodshed, mourning, and fear. I refer to reckless, unregulated, indiscriminate firing of live ammunition and small arms under the guise of traditional gun salute. Mr. Speaker, this is no longer a hypothetical risk. It is an active public safety and security crisis. Citizens are losing their lives in the prime of their youth as a result of stray bullets fired during cultural and traditional celebration. Some of the recent headlines in our national media serve as painful reminders of the consequences of our inaction. 1. Stray bullet kills Bimbilla SHS student during Bungum Festival celebration. That is July 2025. 2 dead, several injured in violent clashes during Tishi Homoho Festival, August 2025. Sub-chief shot himself dead to test potency of juju during festival at Ayamfre, May 2026. Ahiriasi Ojura Festival shooting, 1 dead, 4 injured, October 2025. 2 persons dead in a shooting incident at Abosokai, Accra during the Ga Homoho Festival celebration, August 2020. Mr. Speaker, these are not isolated incidents. Similar cases are reported almost every year during festivals across the country. The National Commission on Small Arms and Light Weapons has repeatedly highlighted the alarming reality that many of the firearms displayed and discharged at such events are unregistered, unlicensed, and therefore illegal. Urgent call to action. Mr. Speaker, we cannot sit back and watch our traditional festivals becoming synonymous with casualties, collateral damage, and avoidable funerals. Tradition must never come at the expense of human life. Our culture should protect the living, not endanger them. I therefore urge this August House to support the following urgent interventions. 1. Strict enforcement by security agencies. The Ghana Police Service, working in collaboration with their municipal and district chief councils, security councils, that is MUSEC and DISEC, must strictly enforce existing laws prohibiting the use of live ammunition at public festivals. Any individual found discharging firearms loaded with live rounds must be arrested and prosecuted without fear or favor. 2. Collaboration with traditional authorities. The National House of Chiefs, traditional councils, and community leaders must work closely with security agencies to sanitize our festivals. Traditional authorities should ensure that only designated, vetted, and licensed individuals are permitted to perform musketry, strictly using blank powder and never live ammunition. Legislative and policy review. The Ministry of Interior, in consultation with Cabinet, should urgently review and strengthen the legal framework governing the ownership, possession, and the use of small arms and light weapons. Existing gaps that allow individuals to misuse firearms with impunity during public gathering must be addressed. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, as the Member of Parliament for Prestia Hunivari, a constituency that deeply values peace, safety, and community cohesion, I stand here to say that 1 death is 1 too many. Let us act decisively today so that future festivals seasons are remembered for development, unity, and cultural pride, not for stray bullets, needless deaths, and broken families. I thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity.
Honourable members, that is a statement on the floor. It's now time for comment. Honourable members, let me admonish that by our rules, there is time for debate and there is time for comment. Regarding statement, we comment on the statement, we don't debate the statement. The rules are very clear. The floor is now open. Yes, in the absence of any member. Yes, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, thank you so much for the opportunity. I rise to contribute to the statement ably delivered by Honorable Robert Wisdom Kujo, MP for Prestia Honey Valley, on the increasing use of live ammunition and firearms at festivals, a grave public security concern. Mr. Speaker, this statement couldn't have come at the right time. He has cited many examples where stray bullets at funerals, lethal bullets, have caused harm, even deaths. And it is time for us to rise up as a people to look at our culture again. When we talk about 21-gun salute at various funerals, where men and women in uniform are supposed to perform their traditional duty, the 21-gun salute is fired with blank ammunition. It is not fired with live bullets. Similarly, at traditional funerals, musketry is just with blank ammunition. It's gunpowder that produces the sound. These days, out of modernity, I don't know whether we are trying to move into what we call the new culture. We have stopped using musketry by investing in blank ammunition and locally manufactured weapons. What we are using are live ammunition from pistols and properly made guns. But that is not the tradition. The tradition intends to create fun. The tradition intends to bring unity. The tradition intends to promote our culture. But when you go to a funeral and finally somebody is dead at the funeral ground because of stray bullet, men and women who are even trained to shoot, and sometimes the training can take you a year, they still suffer from the incident of stray bullets. Why will you think that civilian shooting at the funeral ground will not suffer a similar fate? So the call for us to look at this particular practice at our funerals is a very important call and a timely one. Mr. Speaker, it is important for us to note that the role of DISEX in our various districts is to ensure peace and security at the local level. And I will support my colleague by saying that the Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs should direct his MMDCs to collaborate with traditional leaders for us to sanitize our funerals. It is not right for somebody to go to a funeral and not come back, because in the process of performing the tradition, we lose another life. Mr. Speaker, today we are talking about the power of social media. It is very easy for you to take videos on funerals and share them with security agencies. And everybody will see who was shooting, and everybody will see who caused the death. And gradually the police will go in full haul to ensure that people who shot illegally and probably maimed some other people will be held accountable for that misconduct. It is important for us to continue to promote our culture, but best of all, let's save lives and enjoy to promote it in the sense that we don't dilute our culture to create problems. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, should we stop musketry at funerals? Of course not. It is a culture. If the culture is bad, should we continue? Of course not. But what we ought to do is that let's collaborate with traditional leaders and define a way out. Even on the funeral ground, if there is a place you can locate and fire your musketry, it should be so. But don't stand in the middle of the people, in the middle of the crowd, and then you shoot. All of a sudden, some elements of even the gun can break up and cause harm to many other people. With collaboration and understanding of the role of traditional leaders, I'm quite sure that we will be able to sanitize this practice and continue to enjoy our culture. With these few words, Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Yes, minority leadership. Very well, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to also contribute to the statement ably made by my colleague, the Honorable Member for Prestia-Huni Valley. Mr. Speaker, Ghana is known for the beautiful festivals that we have. And Mr. Speaker, our festivals, most especially, are purposely for unity and a display of the beautiful tradition we have as a way of also promoting tourism. And it should not be an occasion for death and injury. The use of live ammunition, Mr. Speaker, therefore undermines the purpose of these celebrations. Mr. Speaker, it is unacceptable unacceptable that during a festival or a funeral celebration, an act that is purposely used, Mr. Speaker, when it comes to funeral, to remember and mourn with the family, to celebrate a life. That occasion should not be a period where another life is lost. It's just unacceptable. Mr. Speaker, but the statement is timely because of the glaring glorification of firearms that we see. There are some videos, Mr. Speaker, that when you watch, you become scary and you wonder where all these ammunitions are coming from. So, Mr. Speaker, it is a security risk for all of us, whether you are close to where the festival was held or a funeral of such is being held. It tells you that once we see these ammunitions, tomorrow, Mr. Speaker, it might be coming to you through robbery. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, it is for all of us to consider the seriousness of this act. Mr. Speaker, victims, as we say, we go to funerals and festivals with the intention of returning back to our family. And Mr. Speaker, it must not be that after attending such an occasion, Mr. Speaker, something that was meant especially for joy, a joyful moment, such as in the case of festivals, like somebody coming to Axim, Mr. Speaker, for the Kundum Festival, only to return back with the news that to the family that the person is deceased, Mr. Speaker. So we have to pay attention to it, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, but I must commend the Ministry of Interior for the recent collection of ammunition. Mr. Speaker, I believe a period was given for people with firearms to return them. And just this morning, Mr. Speaker, I read from the media that more than 2,000 firearms have been rounded up. And that is a good cause for us. We must commend the minister and also call on all Ghanaians. Citizens must report, Mr. Speaker. We live in a country where we sometimes feel that we are unconcerned because what we're seeing is not close to where we stay, Mr. Speaker. But if we don't collaborate with the Minister of Interior to report such cases, Mr. Speaker, the threat that it comes with might be knocking at our doors. Mr. Speaker, I believe that this message must not only remain in this chamber, but Mr. Speaker, must go out there. I always make a statement. I always say that, Mr. Speaker, we need to take advantage of social media also. And there must be a desk at every ministry where TikTok, where also, Mr. Speaker, contents are produced on TikTok. So that when you're on TikTok, you don't only watch unnecessary, forgive me to say, Mr. Speaker, unnecessary stuff, but deliberate education on how to protect lives in this country. Mr. Speaker, in rounding up, Mr. Speaker, our culture should be a source of pride, not pain. So let us preserve the drums, the dance, the language, and the tradition, but let us not end the recklessness use of live ammunitions, which, Mr. Speaker, takes life. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute to the statement. Thank you.
Yes, Majority Chief.
Speaker, let me commend my brother Wisdom for bringing this matter to the attention of the House. Speaker, we are all at risk, especially because even certified and licensed security companies that are not supposed to bear arms are bearing arms and are misusing the arms that they bear unlawfully. And so, Mr. Speaker, the hint by my brother Noku that a directive by the Ministry of Interior that people should surrender their weapons willingly, and so far about 2,000 weapons are recorded to have been surrendered willingly, is commendable. Speaker, all manner of people are in possession of firearms now, and at the least provocation, they want to unleash their firearms on innocent citizens. So we should, as a House, Speaker, if as the chair, I want to pray that this statement be referred to the Committee on Defense and Interior, because it's such a very topical matter. Speaker, you may be aware that as we speak, our former leader of this House suffered a similar fate a couple of days ago, and she's on admission. The story would have been different, but for some providence. And so the unlawful use of firearms must really be checked. Some attention must be paid to that matter. And this is not the only reported case. It's happening, like he said, at funerals, at festivals, and now on the least provocation, people want to fire arms at people. And so my prayer is that, Mr. Speaker, may you refer this statement to the Committee on Defense and Interior for them to consider it and bring a report, and then the House may come to some resolution on the matter and refer same to the Minister for the Interior for his consideration and policy formulation. Mr. Speaker, with these words, I thank you for the opportunity, and once more I commend the member for Pristi Ahuni Valley for making this very important statement. Thank you.
Honourable members, instead of referring the statement to a committee, I would rather direct that the statement be transmitted to the Minister responsible for Interior for his perusal and necessary action. Honourable members, we've come to the end of statements. Yes, Majority Chief Whip.
Speaker, it's 5:39. By my reckoning, we haven't done quite 5 hours yet. And so, Mr. Speaker, may I pray that we adjourn the House. So, Mr. Speaker, on these terms, I move that the House be adjourned until tomorrow midday. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Yes.
Well, I'm hesitant to second the motion because you produce this. You see how voluminous it is. And we have not done 5 hours. Our order says we should sit ordinarily for 5 hours. And you want to pile up business when we are about rising, and then you bring everything. The businesses that are straightforward, especially reports that are, for instance, the local government committee meeting, the Ways and Means Committee has said that 77 out of 800 reports are ready. And we are operating under a 24-hour economy. What are you afraid of? I'm not sure the president will be happy to hear that you came, you did less than 5 hours, and you are moving a motion that we should close. The Ghanaians are watching you. If you want to close, you can go ahead and close, but we are ready to work.
Speaker, instead of my brother seconding the motion, decided to address the House. But let the record reflect that we took 9 questions today. We moved as many as 5 motions advertised on the order paper. We took motion in respect of rescission, did consideration, and completed it. For all this done within 5 hours. So, Mr. Speaker, you should second the motion.
Honorable Majority,
Yes.
Chief Whip.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Item number 34, Community Service Bill at consideration stage. Yes. Let's turn to page 20. Item numbered 1. Amendment proposed after clause 45. Standing in the name of Osahin Alexander Kwamina Afenyomakin.
Mr. Speaker, the sponsor of the present amendment is not available. There's no indication that anybody has been sponsored to take this on his behalf, so it should be deemed as abandoned, Mr. Speaker.
Normally, we'll see whether he has instructed somebody to take the amendment. Is anybody instructed to take the amendment?
Speaker,
very well.
There's no such indication.
Then we'll take it that the proposed amendment is accordingly abandoned. Item numbered 2 at page 20. Proposed amendment standing in the name of Osahin Alexander Kwamina Afenyomakin. Is anybody instructed to move the amendment? Honourable members will take it that same is also abandoned.
Abandoned, Mr. Speaker, yes.
Item numbered 3. I to clause 53.
Speaker, there's no indication that the sponsor has instructed anybody to take this on his behalf, so it should be deemed as abandoned, Mr. Speaker.
Numbered I on clause 53 is also accordingly abandoned.
Thank you, Mrs.
Then I'll put a question. Entire clause 53. As many as are in favor, say aye. Those against, say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. Clause 53 is ordered to stand part of the bill.
Speaker. Speaker, may I humbly request that in respect of clause 45, we we gloss over you putting the question in respect of 45 as variously amended.
No, I put a question on clause 45 already.
Yes.
But this is a new clause.
Yes.
You say after clause 45.
Exactly.
Add the following new clauses.
Speaker, you are right. So it was supposed to be a standalone provision.
Very well. What I'm supposed to do is to put a question on clause 51.
Yes.
As many as are in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those against, say no. The ayes have it. Clause 51 is ordered to stand part of the bill.
Speaker, may we take item number 4 in respect of clause 57?
Clause 57, page 21, proposed amendment IV. Yes. Honorable members.
Speaker,
yes.
Speaker, there's no indication that the sponsor of the bill has, please let me finish, has instructed a member to move this on his behalf. So I move that this be struck out as deemed abandoned, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Leader, Speaker, with respect, on clause 57, I have the authority of the minority leader to move the said amendment. On clause 57, Mr. Speaker.
Very well.
Amendment proposed after clause 9, insert the following new sub-clauses. 10, where a convicted person has applied. Insert the following new sub-clauses. Yes. Okay, sorry.
After sub-clause 9.
Yes. After sub-clause 9, insert the following new sub-clauses. Where a convicted person has applied for a review under this section, the supervising court may, on application by the convicted person or on his own motion, A, suspend the community service order in whole or in part pending the determination of the review, or B, grant bail to the convicted person on such terms and conditions as the court considers appropriate pending the determination of the review. 11, in exercising the power under subsection 10, the court shall have regard to A, the merits of the grounds of review, B, the likely duration of the review proceedings, C, the risk of prejudice to the convicted person if the community service order continues pending the review, D, the need to protect the public, E, and the other relevant circumstances that the court considers material. 12, where the supervising court grants bail under subsection 10B. Okay.
Speaker, by way of guidance, because the amendments are pretty long, the honorable member could just move in terms of the advertised amendment and then we'll consider it. Because if he wants to read the entirety of the amendments, they are pretty long, so it may take a bit of time.
Well, Speaker, I'm almost through, but I'm guided. The amendment could be taken as advertised, Speaker.
Members, this amendment is for the consideration of the House. But, Honorable, you have the authority to move. Are you aware that after conviction, the person is sent to prison whilst the review process is ongoing?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
So just oppose it with the amendment that we are doing and see how it will feature in the community sentencing.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker.
Because the community sentencing will become applicable when the offenses are offenses below, the sanction is below 3 years, and you'll be sentenced to serve in the community. But when you are sentenced to prison, Immediately after the sentence, you are sent to prison before the review process will be going on. And completely, this will have nothing to do with the community service bill. So I don't know how a person who is convicted and is sentenced in a prison terms, the review application should be a factor for consideration under the community service bill. Yes?
Speaker, exactly I was going to ask the honorable member to justify the present amendment, because the present amendment is not in tune with the tenor of the bill before us. Because if you read your proposed amendments carefully, then portions of the legislation will not be applicable. So it's an amendment that is not germane to the memorandum accompanying the bill before the House. It's not in tune with the memorandum.
Speaker, I disagree. We have proposed an amendment. It's before the House for consideration. You may want to put the question, and the House will decide.
Very well. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. I think the noes have it. The proposed amendment to clause 57 is not carried. I will then put a question on entire clause 57. As many as are in favor say aye. As many as are in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Clause 57 is ordered to stand part of the bill. Honourable members, we have done more than 5 hours, and based on Standing Order 56, it is incumbent on the person presiding to adjourn the House. Therefore, I have decided to adjourn the House. Okay, we've come to the end of consideration stage of the community service bill for today. Honourable members, as indicated, we have been sitting in excess of 5 hours. Therefore, by Standing Order 56-2, I will proceed to adjourn the House. The House is accordingly adjourned till Thursday, 25th June 2026 at 12 noon.